What's up, everybody? This your boy Joe, Jay Carter. As y'all know, I've been writing this book. It's called I Pledge, Not Paper. I honestly feel it's a good book, very line for line, a good read to where once you start reading, you're not going to want to stop. What I want to do now, I want to read a couple of chapters here just to get everybody's opinion and some constructive criticism on it, whether it be good or bad. I feel there's always room to improve and to get better. So if you have any ideas or if you feel like something should get switched up, just let me know. Leave a comment. Also, if you can, share the videos, so I can get multiple, different opinions from different minds. The plan with this book, this first book is just gonna be part one. I want to do 4 parts to it because I feel like it's a very long story, but I can't fit it all in one book, of course. So I'm gonna make it 4 parts, and again, this first part is just to introduce my main character and his struggles, and then it's gonna go on from there. I will say that a lot of my characters are people that I actually know, and so of course, like if I'm saying something, don't feel offended. I'm just using your name on top of a character because I want to show all my homeboys and homegirls love. You feel me? So again, this book is gonna be done by the end of July. So keep a lookout on it. I feel like again, I feel like it's gonna be a good read. And again, just show your boy love. Just let me know any comments or anything you feel I could change. And before I start, I want to say this off the top. There is a lot of cussing, a lot of drug related, and a lot of violence. So don't feel offended, or if I do offend somebody, I do apologize. It's just a story that I'm trying to go with, and I want to keep it, in a real mind frame of, and nothing like, how can I say, like, going behind the bushes or, sugarcoating stuff. I want to just be straight real with this book. So, again, I hope y'all enjoy it. Again, I'm not going to read the full book. I'm just going to read a couple of chapters just to give y'all, I guess, a view of what I'm trying to go, or, route that I'm trying to go with this book. All right, here we go. Shit's about to get real. The boys moving on the block. Fuck, the pigs are moving in. Y'all pussy asses don't even belong here. Well, that's a good way to welcome us, said my dad. Let's just hurry up and move in before it gets too late. It took us till midnight to get fully moved in, but at approximately 12:03, 2 bricks came through our window with loud sounds of laughter afterwards. My dad patched up the windows and we slept in the basement that night. All I could do was hope and pray that school the next day was going to be better than tonight. I've been called a pig and also referred to as the boys. And to be honest, I don't even know what either one of those mean. The next day was a day I'll never forget. I woke up to my dad strung out on coke and my mom was going as always, and there was no food in the house but molded bread. I took the molded part off the bread and ate the rest, and surprisingly, it was pretty tasty. After eating, I started to get dressed for school, and that's where I made the first mistake, where I would later find out. I put on my favorite Kansas City Royals t-shirt with the matching blue pants, and with my backpack ready, I was headed off for school. As I started my walk to school for my first day, I saw a group of black guys standing on the next block. So I crossed the street so I wouldn't have to walk past them. But the closer I got, the more paranoid I became because they started to look at me as if I did something wrong. Out of nowhere, kick, pop, slam, crack. I woke up in the hospital with 3 broken ribs, a fractured arm, and many bruises all over my body, with the word coon spray painted on my chest. My dad showed up on drugs as usual, and my mom was a no-show. And when the officers questioned me, I couldn't give them any information due to the fact I was knocked out. The cops were so angry to the point that they refused to take a report or even investigate because they felt that I was withholding information. When I finally got home, my dad pulled in the driveway, and before we could even get out the car, there was a gun pointed to my head asking if I snitched. I was so frightened that I couldn't even say anything. All I could hear was my dad yelling, "No!" He was unconscious, and the cops didn't even have a report. That was the first time I saw my dad shed a tear. The gunman then pulled the gun away and said if he had to come back, it was going to be problems. That night I couldn't sleep at all due to the many thoughts that ran through my mind. My dad, of course, got over the situation fast by doing drugs right after. Luckily, my mom showed up, but before I could tell her what happened, she snorted a line and passed out. She had over $500 in her pocket, mostly crumbled up and torn up ones, but they was good enough to order a pizza. I ordered 2 pieces because I knew it would last me a few weeks if I hid it in my room. I also kept $10 just in case. I then heard a ring at the doorbell and became excited because the only thing I had was molded bread from earlier this morning. So when I answered the door, I paid $20 for the pizza and tipped the deliverer $3. When I closed the door, I noticed I didn't have any cheese, so I called the pizza man back to the door for extra cheese. When the pizza man came back, I noticed a suspicion in his eyes. He then asked, "Is that your mom and dad passed out on the couch?" I said, "Yes." He then asked if we were the only ones in the house. I said, "Yes, why?" Then I received the hardest hit to the face I ever experienced in my life. And when I fell to the floor, the pizza man went from my mom's pockets and took her money without either one of them waking up. I would have yelled to try to get them up, but they were so high that it would have been pointless. As the pizza man left, he said, "Damn, I didn't know Po Lucy stayed in the hood," and pulled out his phone so he could call someone to tell them, but the police sirens began and the pizza man ran out the house. I've been beat up twice today, but the only positive outcome was getting the pizza. Tomorrow, I plan on taking a different route to school since Kirkside is a majority blood neighborhood, or I might just wear neutral colors. Nah, I'll just take the long route to school, I thought. Tommy, where are you, you little thief?" I looked at my alarm clock and it was 4:30 in the morning, and I'm barely awake and wondering why my mom is yelling for me. "Yes, Mom," I yelled from my room. She kicks open my door and grabs me against the wall and started slapping me while swearing and calling me a thief all at the same time. When she was finally done, I fell to the ground and told her that a pizza man robbed us and even hit me to get into the house. She then saw the pizza boxes and called me a liar and asked where was the money. I told her again, "Mom, we were robbed and the pizza man stole the money." She then grabbed me and started checking all my pockets, and she found the $10 that I had planned to keep. When she saw the money, the expression on her face was something I had never seen before. All of a sudden, she kicked me to the ground and started stomping me into the floor. After 2 minutes, I figured she would stop, but she didn't. So I yelled out, "Ask him. He knows you. He said you were Po Lucy." Then out of nowhere, she stopped and looked at me with a blank stare, then went back to the living room. At this point, I could barely walk, and I proceeded to the living room, and there she was again, shooting up drugs, and 2 seconds later, she was passed out cold again. At this time, I feel like I need to go back to the hospital, because she might have broken another rib and gave me an internal bleeding. I'm going to have to leave early for school since I can barely walk though. After eating a slice of pizza, I put on my gray t-shirt and black pants and headed for school. But instead of walking past Kirkside, I went towards Ruskin Heights, then took the back route to school. Even though the alternate route took an additional hour to get to school, I felt safe for the first time and even saw a pretty girl on the way as well. She had blue eyes, red hair, and the longest pretty legs I ever seen. After an hour plus of walking, I finally made it to school, and immediately I noticed I was the only white person in the entire building, including the staff. With a confused look on my face, a teacher by the name of Miss Lindsley approached me and asked if I knew where my classroom was. But I couldn't speak only because I'd never been surrounded by so many blacks in my life. Miss Lindsley looked at my schedule and told me that I was her student and to follow me to her class. That walk to class had to be the longest walk of my life. Everybody was looking at me as if I was an alien. I even got crazy looks from the staff as well. When we finally got to the classroom door, it was so noisy that I couldn't even hear Miss Lindley standing next to me. But as we entered the classroom, out of nowhere, the class got so quiet that you could hear a pin drop. At first, I thought it was quiet because Miss Lindley, but again, I was the recipient of the craziest looks ever. Miss Lindley had me sit in front of the class next to this girl who had the worst smell ever, but she introduced herself to me, so besides her hygiene, she was cool. "Tasha, you fucking stink." The look on Tasha's face made me reminded me of how I feel on a daily basis. And to help her out, I yelled, "Excuse me, I had cheesy pizza last night." The entire class busted out